In our Writing for Electronic Communities class, we had a mission to learn the difference between a community and a network. Years ago, there may have been a clear-cut definition as to exactly what makes a community, but does that still apply to today? Are the immediate and high-speed relationships formed online the same as face-to-face? Howard Rheingold created his own definition for virtual communities in his book, The Virtual Community. He says that they are, quote, social aggregations that emerge from the net when enough people carry on those public discussions long enough, with sufficient human feeling to form webs of personal relationships in cyberspace. We each chose a Twitter hashtag to follow and learn if they truly were a community or just a network of people spouting worthless information to a virtual wall. I decided to follow the hashtag arnoldseries. This hashtag represented the company Muscle Farm's new line of fitness products sponsored by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. I knew right away that the hashtag wouldn't show success rates of little guys turning into giant hulking monsters. You need steroids for that. I did assume that a lot of it would be open-ended comments about excitement to try one of the products out. As I looked closer, I realized that the hashtag was used for much more than that. To dig into anything, you need a method. We use grounded theory as our method of understanding virtual communities. That is, we used a systematic methodology in the social sciences involving the discovery of theory through the analysis of data. This proved to be a great way to understand any data that we would collect. I knew a good amount about the subject I had chosen for the assignment. I had already been a fan of bodybuilding, therefore I was eager to learn about what was said in the community. Muscle Farm has been one of the top supplement brands for years, and I knew that with Arnold joining the team, it would explode. I was nervous, but ready to learn. After creating an archive of the tweets sent with the hashtag, I immediately began learning about the community. Henry Jenkins explains in his understanding of participation by saying how it primarily deals with intrinsically motivated actions exercised in social formations which share a high degree of interaction, common objectives, and interests. I noticed that there was, in fact, a great deal of participation. It did not focus on one another, but mostly on Muscle Farm themselves. The company knew that this hashtag was a great way to reach out to their community, and they did so. Once I looked at my archive, I noticed how Muscle Farm had sent most of the tweets with the hashtags. Through analyzing the tweets, I created a list of codes that I could file them by. This list included associating, anticipating, linking, inquiring, notifying, modeling, mainstreaming, desire, and tumbling. At first, I expected to find the most of the tweets sent as retweets. This would fall under the tumbling code. I learned this was not true. I found the opposite of my fear. I assumed people would just inquire about the product or show desire. In reality, modeling and associating were at the top. Modeling meant that people took the time after trying the product to give their review. In fact, a lot of the modeling included notifying Muscle Farm directly about what they thought about the product. Paired with modeling was linking. I noticed how the communication of the community flowed by how they would post pictures or a link to a separate website in their tweet. Many people might share pictures of their products as part of the excitement. The communication would continue by having favorites or retweets of those pictures. Mark Duffett explains in his book, Understanding Fandom, that, quote, the community is a way to perpetuate and support personal fandom. Here I found just that. People supported their own fandom while continuing supporting others. From all over, fans were keeping their own hype alive while being able to share it on this Twitter hashtag. And why? Because let's face it, fitness is hard. You have to stay motivated in order to stay with it. I believe that any fan needs certain motivation to stay involved with their community. The support for personal fandom in this situation keeps the fan in the gym. So now you are motivated to keep working out while updating your fellow fans. While looking through the data on a much bigger span, I tried to get an idea on whether or not people were connected. Once I viewed it through Hawk's Eye, I was able to get my answer. Each definition of community makes mention of responses. I noticed that there were a great deal of people connected, while many others just happened to be stranded. This did not give me the impression that it was not a community. In the virtual world, a hashtag is almost like an invitation sent out to all. So many of the people who just happened to make one tweet with the hashtag may not have attempted to be in the community. If a tweet, Love Arnold Series, appeared, how much conversation would it invite? Many people might just be straggling along behind. My idea was that there is a community here. I wanted to test it for myself. Through my research, I tried out the products on my own and gave my personal opinion with the hashtag. I wanted to try out Mark Duffett's idea of induction and learn by becoming a fan. The sense that I received immediately welcomed me into the community. Duffett also explains that fanish emotions are both produced and productive. I found myself feeling these emotions and almost compelled to post my reviews of each product I had tried. The result was not only in direct communication with Muscle Farm and also fans, but even an invite to a podcast chat in the United Kingdom for a talk show. What I realized through grounded theory and my own participation was that this truly was a community. The fans involved never get tired of hearing from one another about a product. They favorite and retweet one another's tweets constantly with the hashtag. They follow one another after they see a few tweets that they enjoy, and they are all connected through this hashtag. With how easy it is to connect a fan with their idol these days, Muscle Farm truly gave their fans that connection through the hashtag arnoldseries. The simplest questions are answered, and the biggest products are given away in sweepstakes. Through the many options of tweeting with the hashtag, Muscle Farm keeps it as a participatory culture. Henry Jenkins explains that a participatory culture must have low barriers to artistic expression and strong support for creating and sharing. Through grounded theory and becoming a fan, I have learned that the hashtag Arnold series holds a community that encourages participation. Therein lies the answer to the semester-long question.